Hi guys, I am back with you again today. This time I'm sharing my first Project Life spread for 2019. Most of the pictures are actually from New Year's Eve. So I'm going to use the gel kit from Felicity Jane, and I went ahead, because I like to hem haw so much, I went ahead and decided which cards and things that I was going to use prior to filming. And I've also pulled this sticker sheet that I've had laying around for a very long time. I think it's from Becky Higgins, but there is one chipboard sticker on there that matches that yellow in the gel collection pretty well. And it's funny, originally I wasn't in love with that golden yellow color, but it actually plays real nicely with the color of our living room walls, which I will be changing this year, finally. So I thought that was actually going to be one of the least used colors, that I was just going to use it for accents and things, and then it ended up the very first time that I used the kit that was my kind of standout color that I chose. So I'm just going to use like black and white and pops of that yellow. So I'm just going to go through a few things. I pulled out that little yellow label that's over there on the right. That actually was in the amber kit, but the yellow, obviously, Felicity Jane, all their colors, they're the same, right? So the yellow that was in the amber kit is the same yellow that is now in this gel kit. So I'm just going through the little chipboard bits and bobs, and I picked out, there's one that I put on that 3x4 photo on the right that says "So Loved," and then I picked one out that is sort of like a charcoal gray, and it's got a heart cut out. And then I also thought that I would go through these chipboard flares that I got from the Brie kit. I got those for a pretty good discount, so I thought I could use maybe one or two. So I've got two, they're the same size, from the gel kit. I just wanted another one to add in. So at first I thought maybe I'd use one, I think that says "Together" over on that filler card, but it was white, and obviously that card is mostly white, so I decided I need to do something different there that had more of a contrast. So you guys, if you've watched the last few videos, you know I tend to hem haw, be indecisive, and there definitely was kind of quite a bit of that going on with this one as well. But I had a ton of fun. I can't wait for next week to document. This kit is so beautiful. And I didn't actually end up using the stamp set that came with this kit, but I've got some ideas either for my week 2 or possibly week 3 if week 2 goes a different direction. But so my format, I'm really not making any rules for my 2019 Project Life. I'm going to try to stick with one 12x12 layout just like this for each week, but obviously if I have a week where I have a ton going on, then I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to include as many photos as I think I want to. And if I have a week where a whole lot isn't going on, then I'll just probably cut down a page protector and just add a couple of photos. But what I like about Project Life so far is that it is it's pushing me to take more pictures of the everyday moments, which I think is important. You know, when my kids are grown up, they'll obviously have memories, but it just kind of gives a look at what our daily life is like. So then for my title card, so I just cut down a piece of that golden yellow cardstock that's included in the kit to a 4x6, and then I decided just to add a little bit of more interest to the card that I was going to layer on a piece of vellum. I originally was going to try to use one of the pieces of vellum that came with the kit, but I wanted it to be not as busy. So I just layered it with some regular old vellum that I cut down. And then I'm going to layer on that acetate border piece from the Jill kit, sort of as a place for my title card, the week one, for that title to just rest. So of course, you know, I'm indecisive. So even though I know that's what I am going to want to do, I'm going to go ahead and put my week one stickers onto that piece of wax paper so I can set it up there just to see what it's going to look like. But I love it and I know I'm going to do that, so seems like a waste of time. So now I'm trying to decide what label, because I kind of want to put the dates on a label. So I've none of the labels that were in the Jill kit, I wanted to use a black one. None of them were really big enough for me to stamp the 2 dates that the week ran on the same label. So I'm just going through my little drawer with all of my labels, and I found that one, which it's a good size. Both of the dates, the beginning and end dates of the week, are going to fit on there. So I think I'm going to do that. And then that little Friends that I was just tapping down there is actually from the Amber kit as well. But I thought it would work well on that picture of the 2 girls. That was New Year's Eve. They were just watching a movie. And then I also did order the Scripty Months from Felicity Jane. That's something new. I think that came out just this month. So I'm thinking about that title card right there, or that filler card, what I'm going to put on there. So I've gone over and I've grabbed these stamps. I love, love, love these stamps. I actually got them at Tuesday morning. I don't have the package anymore, so I don't remember who manufactures them, but they're just a typewriter font. And then they click together. They're super cute. I wish I would have gotten 2 sets of them now in hindsight, because sometimes I need more than 1 or 2 letters. Some of the letters they have, maybe there's 2 of every letter. I can't remember. But I love those things, so I'm going to incorporate those. So I'm going to go ahead and move all this stuff over so that I can work on each one of the cards. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on my title card. I'm just going to adhere the vellum to that cardstock with my tiny attacher. And then I'm just going to use that floral piece as the anchor for all of the other pieces before I stick them down, just so that I can be sure that the placement is right. I love the way this title card ends up turning out, though. I need to find a good scripty stamp, so if you guys have any good recommendations, I will take them. I wanted to get the weekly stamp set from Ellie Edwards, but they have sadly sold out. If I continue to use thickers, I'm going to burn through the E's like there's no tomorrow. So I'm just going to stamp my dates. I decided to run my week from a Monday through a Sunday, so December 31st, and then it'll end on January the 6th. So I'm just going to stamp that down. I'm going to stamp it off. I really don't clean off my date stamp. I only ever use black with it, so what's the point really? And then I was checking the acetate piece. I didn't know if they put that like plastic protective covering over it, like some companies do, and there's not. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tape run around there and stick it down. Make sure that it's kind of lined up. And then I'm going to stick down my week stickers. And that acetate piece serves as a nice little kind of guideline to make sure that they all get down pretty straight. These stickers are just beautiful. So I'm committing to that. And then I'm being very careful with my date sticker because I don't want to smear anything. It is just a paper sticker. Stick that down, and then I will stick down the floral. You guys, it's kind of funny when I watch this back. So believe it or not, my video was sped up 2 times. So I move very slowly, I think. I mean, I know I'm a slow scrapbooker, but good grief. So I think it's kind of funny. The whole reason that I named my channel The Polished Bull is because I'm a Taurus and I love to wear nail polish, even though you'd never tell because in all the videos I'm not wearing any nail polish. But maybe I should change my name to like the Sloth Scrapbooker. I am so flippin' slow, you guys. I even sat down and looked through all this stuff and kind of had a plan in mind before I sat down, and it still ends up taking me an hour. So I think that Together flare, it just needs something. So I was going to use that mustard yellow stripe that's included in the gel kit, but I wanted something more solid. So again, I pulled this paper from the amber kit, punched a circle that's going to be just slightly bigger than that Together flare, and I'm going to adhere it on top just to add a little bit of color and a little something something to that photo. So that picture was actually of us on New Year's Eve. We let the girls stay up till midnight, so my husband was shooting off one of the poppers of confetti. So we just had a chill New Year's Eve at home. We don't really like to go out. We're not big drinkers. So I'm done with that one. Now I'm moving on to that filler card, and I've decided that I was going to do Hello January. So I'm just going to figure out how I want to do this, and I'm going to end up angling hello not right along with the diagonal of the lines that are printed on a card, but just to add a little bit of visual interest maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp down hello using those typewriter font stamps. I end up really liking the way that this looks. In the end, it could have been shifted over to the left just a little bit because it's not perfectly centered, but it's okay. I still love it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp down that January. I love this scripty font. It is just beautiful. So I'm going to stamp that down, and I think I end up tucking that J up just slightly in between the 2 L's and hello. You guys end up getting a lot of really good headshots in this video. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure my stamps are lined up. And because, you know, I'm scrapping and I'm just hanging out. My husband was sick this day, so he slept in for quite a while. So I took the girls down in the basement so that he couldn't hear them quite as much. So since I'm just lounging around the house, it's the best hair day ever, right? So I'm going to pull out my big box of enamel dots and, oh, it's got all kinds of stuff in there. Stuff that, like little sprinkles of things, right? So there's some stars, some hearts, some things like that. So I'm looking for some black hearts. And actually, the 4 black hearts on the Illustrated Faith sticker sheet that I just pulled are the only ones that I have. And then, of course, I go to put everything back and it just doesn't fit. So I've got to reorganize everything. It tells you I have way too much stuff and I don't use near enough of it. But that's my goal for this year, right? Use up some supplies. I say that the day after I just went to Hobby Lobby and bought a few more things. I really didn't get a ton, but a few. So, just like Tetris, fit all that stuff back in there. And then I'm going to stick down 2 of those little tiny black hearts. And that one is done. Love the way it turned out. So then moving on to this picture of some Starbucks coffee. This was my first day back to work after my week and a half vacation over Christmas and the New Year. I actually had to take my daughters to a dentist appointment that morning, so I had a late start. So before I went to work, I went and grabbed a Starbucks coffee. So I'm going to use that. It's a collaboration between Integrative Bubble and Studio Calico. And I'm going to use that stamp there that says Daily Cup, I believe. And I'm going to stamp it right in the middle of my coffee there. And then I'm going to trim down my photo just a bit, and I'm going to adhere it to that beautiful 3x4 card in the Felicity Jane kit that's just got the hearts. So I'm going to put all this stuff away so it's out of the way. If I don't keep semi picked up while I'm working, it's a nightmare in the end to put everything back where it goes. So I don't know what's going on here, you guys, this paper trimmer. I ordered this 3x4 print from Persnickety Prints as a 3x4. So, oh, maybe it wasn't this one, never mind. So this one I didn't notice anything. Just trim it down a little bit so I can adhere it to the card. And then I'm going to use that yellow label from the Jill kit that says, you've got this, I think. So I turn that card around so that the 2 rows of hearts that you see end up being right side up instead of upside down. So I'm just going to adhere that with a couple of staples on one side. And then I'm going to stick it down just for reinforcement with some tape runner. And then adhere that little label overlapping the photo down on the bottom. So now the 2 rows of hearts that you see are right side up. I love the way that one turned out. So now I'm going to move on to this photo of my daughter. This is going to be easy. I'm just going to adhere down that So Loved chipboard flare down in the corner. And that one's done. So then moving on to this one, I've got that Friends little word sticker from the Amber kit. And so I am going to stamp out Best with that typewriter font stamp. So I just got to find the right letters here. I love doing Project Life so far, you guys. That's a lot of fun. It's only been 1 week, I know. But it's a ton of fun. And then I will continue to do 12 by 12 layouts as well. And I'll just stick those into the album along with my my weekly spreads. So just clean my stamp off. And then I'm going to adhere down the friends. And then I'm going to adhere that little heart. And I actually like it there, but you'll see I end up testing it out over on the right. Not sure if I like it. Move it back. I like it. And then I dropped it. And then I just decided, never mind. I guess it'll live there. So on this one, I'm just going to do a simple embellishment. I'm going to stamp out by 2018 on that label and adhere it right down in the middle. This was me packing up all of our Christmas stuff and putting it up before I had gone back to work. Because I knew if I didn't get it picked up and packed away and put in the basement before I went back to work, it probably would be February before I got it all packed up. So again, I'm going to use that typewriter font. So now I've repeated that 3 times. Yeah, 3 times on this layout. And you guys see my mistake here. I was so upset with myself. So I stamped by with my VersaFine ink. And I have to remember the labels that come in the ephemera kits with Felicity Jane are coded, right? So I should be using my StazOn ink. But for whatever reason, I wasn't thinking and pulled out my VersaFine. So then I'm pulling out, I think this is the Mila stamp set. There's these itty bitty teeny tiny numbers. So I'm going to use those for the 2018. For some reason, I thought it'd be easier to stamp it one by one. And then I decided, nope, probably should just do them all together. So I need to get those on there. Make sure that they're all straight. And they actually weren't. So I had to kind of jumble around just a little bit. So now looks good. And then you'll see me make my mistake. So mad at myself, but it's okay. See, look, I got my fingers right over. Ah! It's okay. There goes my awesome updo. Clean that off just a little bit. I couldn't believe myself. Like, why? So luckily, because they're glossy though, I was able to, for the most part, wipe the ink prints that I left off of the die cut. It's hardly noticeable. One of these days, I will learn my lesson, and when I pick out the labels from the ephemera packs, I will just know, grab your StazOn ink. That sounded like a song. I'm not going to sing for you guys. It's not a pretty thing. The Sloth Scrapper sings. That would be a video. That's not going to happen. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to add anything else. So I'm going to just staple it down. Watch me get super technical, you guys. So normally I just eyeball stuff. And if I'm like, if it looks good to me, then that's probably where it needs to go. But of course, here I'm fiddling and I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't look like it's in the middle. You think I'm stapling, I'm not. Something just doesn't look right. So I literally get out my ruler and I make sure that this thing is dead center in the middle of the page. It's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to make sure there that the middle of it is on the 2. This is so ridiculous. Yep, and then we got to make sure crossways, but not that way because that's centimeters. Move it to the other side. There you go. So ridiculous, right? Like, how much more of a perfectionist can I possibly be with this one simple thing? Look at this. So ridiculous. So now that I've done all my mathematical calculations to figure out that it is in fact in the middle of the photo, I go ahead and staple it down. So ridiculous. And then I'm just going to add one more of those black hearts just on top there. I hate when Christmas is over and the decorations have to come down. I don't know about anybody else, but my house feels super empty, but it's okay. So there we go. I'm happy with it. Beautiful. And then I got all excited and I was telling you bye, but then I remembered that I was going to show you guys my order from Persnickety Prints for my album introductory pages. So I'm going to go ahead and stick all my cards in there. Obviously that one is a little bit too narrow, so I need to chop the card down just a tiny bit. And so here's what I was talking about earlier. So I don't know what happened here, but I know this photo is square, right? Persnickety Prints is not going to sell me a photo or ship me a photo that's not square. But for some reason, and I've been using this trimmer forever, when I lined it up against that top edge, it was not square. So I'm fiddling around because I've just realized it's not trying to chop it right. So I just have to kind of line it up to the best of my eyeball abilities. So I'm just going to stick everything in the pockets. And struggle with that one because the heart stickers kept getting stuck. Stick those in, and then I'm going to grab out my 2019 Project Life album for you guys to see. I'm just going to move a few things out of the way. Oh yes, and I forgot. That yellow actually matches pretty darn well. So I figured, hey, if I don't use it here, I probably never will. So I stuck that down on the photo of my daughter. It just says yes. But it looks really good with it matches really, really well with that color. So I'm going to put all those away so that I don't lose them or they don't go flying all over the floor. And then I'm going to get down my album. At some point. Here we go. So I'm using a Mint We Are Memory Keepers 12 by 12. I love We Are Memory Keepers albums. So this is the first page. When you open the 2019 album, I'm just going to leave it just as is. This is one of my favorite photos that we took. These were from our Christmas pictures. So I blew it up to a 12 by 12. I just love, love, love it. And then this is what I was telling you guys about. So I obviously knew, because the first page, that I was going to have a 12 by 12 photo. And then on the back, I didn't necessarily want another 12 by 12. So Persnickety Prints has these templates, and it's just this one page, and then you can plug your photos in. So I used the Design A. I don't think that's what they call it. And then I was showing you there right above where I put the Hello 2019. For some reason, I thought I had a black and white polka dot heart chipboard sticker. Can't find it anywhere. It must have been in my dreams. So in the photos, though, at the beginning, you'll notice that I actually picked a glitter heart from the Gather collection. So this is my 2019 Project Life album so far with that week 1. I love the way that it turned out, and I'm excited to do week 2. So I'm super excited. Thank you for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below if you've started your 2019 album or not. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.